Hi everybody and welcome to another Hedgehog half hour. So place your hedgehog just to the left side of your body before we get started. Let's just get our feet and knees hip with the plant apart. Plant the feet nicely to the floor, just soften the knees and bring your pelvis into neutral forming. Get those shoulder blades into your back and lengthen up through your head. Okay, let's take a couple of breaths. When you're ready, breathing in and out. And again, breathing in and out. And again, breathing in and out. Turn to face your hedgehog. Place your right foot on the right side track of your hedgehog. Take your weight forwards and soften that right knee. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lift the left leg, squeeze the bottom. Breathe in and tap it down. Breathing out. Keep the hips facing forwards and keep tall. Good. Don't let that right hip turn out. Keep the left hip turn out, I should say. Keep the right knee soft. And again, breathing out and in. And one more, out. And in, step down. Okay, swap over. Left foot on the left side track. Take your weight forwards and soften the knee. Breathe in. Breathing out. And in. And again, breathing out. Hold that core. So focus on those hips. Make sure those hips are facing forwards and really squeeze that glute. As you lift the leg, keep the spine tall. Two more, breathing out and in, and again out, and in, stepping down. So feet about the width of your hedgehog. Soften the knees and tuck the chin, breathe in. Rolling those shoulders, let's gently articulate down through the spine. Belly button in, stretching through the back of the shoulders. Keep the knees soft. Let's come all the way down to your hedgehog for me. Hands on top of the hedgehog. Straighten the backs of the legs and feel that lovely stretch. Breathe in. Breathing out, lift the heels up and down. And again, lift the heels up and down. And again, lift the heels up and down. Good, one more. And lift the heels up and down. Soften the knees, then take one knee down and then the other knee down. Good. Flip your hedgehog over so you've got your flat side facing up and it's seesawing towards you. Place your hands the width of your hedgehog for me, knees underneath the hips and tuck the toes under. Take a breath in, breathe out, float the knees just an inch. And release. Now, if this is too hard on your wrists, you can come down onto your forearms. We're going to do that anyway, but you can come down there now if you need to. Breathing out and release. And again, no wobble, just an inch and release. So come off, unravel those toes, hop your hedgehog a bit further forwards. And then come down onto your forearms. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes again for me. Breathe in. Breathing out and float. And release. And again, just an inch. And release. And again, belly button to spine. Float. And release. And one more. And release. Unravel the toes, hands either side, the hedgehogs pull back into your child's pose. Lovely. And then gently uncurl. Okay, so turn your hedgehog over so you've got that dome in front of you. And we're going to try and make sure the sternum is maybe just slightly forwards to the centre of your hedgehog. So you're going to come down onto your front and you're going to have your sternum kind of over the middle or maybe just slightly closer towards you, feet around about shoulder width apart, one hand on top of the other, shoulders wide, and let the forehead fall forwards. Now, if you haven't got great shoulder mobility, this is actually quite good. It makes life a little easier for you, okay? So take a breath in, breathing out and lifting up through that chest. Good, as high as you can go, but keep looking down in front of you. And then as we go down, you're separating those shoulders. And again, lifting up through that chest. Separate the shoulders. Keep the elbows and forearms down. And one more. Breathing out, coming up. Good. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then coming down. Now glue the head and the hands together. Breathe in. Breathing out, lifting up. Breathing in, just come down and float. Breathing out, lifting up. Breathing in, coming down and float. Hold that core. Breathing out, lift up and hold. Extend your arms forwards. Big circle round to your thighs. Pull under. Come back and float. Lifting up. Extend the arms forwards. Keep those feet down. Big circle round to the thighs. Pull underneath you. Lower down to float. One more. Picking up through the spine. Extend the arms forwards. Big circle round. Pull the arms underneath you. And then come all the way down. Good, with those hands to the side, gently press up, pull the knees underneath you, rolling up into your cat stretch, just to stretch the spine the opposite way, chin to chest, and then release into neutral, and again rounding up into cat stretch, tuck the chin to the chest, and then release, and we'll do one more. Rounding up into cat stretch and then release. Okay, so let's turn with the hedgehog behind us. So I'm going to sit round the other way. I'm going to have my hedgehog roughly about the span of my hand from thumb to little finger. So if I was to spread my fingers wide, it's roughly about the span of my hand. Okay, let's make our legs long. Flex the feet about hip width apart. I want us to reach forwards with a flat back, arms parallel to the legs. Then breathing in, stretching all the way up. Keep the feet flexed, tuck the tailbone, round the spine. Keep the arms by the ears as we come down to that hedgehog. Good. And then pushing forwards and up. And then stretching forwards. Now that's too difficult. Move your hedgehog closer. So stretching up into the air, tuck the tailbone, rolling down into your spine, touch, stretch up into the air, good, and then reach forwards to those toes. And again, all the way up, tuck that tailbone, rounding through the spine, just tap the hedgehog, rolling off and reach up. And then reaching forwards, one more, all the way up. Tuck the tailbone, rolling down. Just come into our hedgehog now, hold it here. Bring the hands behind the head and let's open that chest out. Flex the feet and push the feet down into the floor for me. Lovely. Bring the elbows slightly in, breathing out, just curling up through the upper abdominals and then releasing back to stay looking forwards. So you're parallel and again, curling up and then releasing back. Yeah, and again, curling up and then releasing back. And again, curling up. And then releasing back. If you can, see whether or not you can get your head and your arms on the floor and slide those feet up so that they're hip width apart for me. Lovely. Take a breath in. Breathing out, curling up and pointing your right elbow to your left knee. Breathing into centre parallel. Breathing out, curling up, left elbow to right knee. And then we're going parallel. And again, use those abdominals. And then we're coming back. And again, curling up. And then parallel. Good. And again, so it's quite hard on the core. Hips are still on the floor. And again, curling up. And parallel, 2 more for me. This feels good. Curling up. And parallel. And 1 more. Curling up. And parallel. Take those legs long. Bring your arms forwards. Round your spine. And lift. Flex the feet. And reach down to your toes. Fantastic. And then uncurl. So now we're going to move the hedgehog away a little bit further away, because I really want now your shoulder blades to be on top of your hedgehog, but not your head and your neck. So it's a little bit higher now. We're just going to lace the fingers together and we're just going to take the weight of the head. We're just going to really work into your upper spine and your shoulder blades. Okay, feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Elbows in your peripheral vision and keep them there for me. And we're just going to turn the whole body and we're going to stretch the right elbow away. And then we're going to come back to centre, elbows in your peripheral vision. Then we're going to turn to the left and stretch the left elbow away. And then come back to centre. Keep the feet in the same position. Stretch the right elbow away. And then centre. And then stretch the left elbow away. And then centre. This time as you go to the right, the left foot picks off and that stretches away as we stretch the right elbow. And then it slides back into centre. Then the opposite way. Left elbow, right leg. And back in. Hold that core though. Hips stay still. Right elbow, left leg. And then coming in. And then left elbow, right leg. And then coming in and rest. Take yourself back, lifting the ribs. Dangle the head, and you'll feel you get a little bit of an arch in the lower back now, which is absolutely fine. Good, nice little stretch back. And then just bring the head to parallel for me so that you're holding the weight of your head. Bring your feet a bit closer if you feel you need to. Tuck your tailbones, you're pushing your lower back into the floor and then release. And again, push the lower back into the floor and then release. So your ribs are driving down as your tailbone tucks around. You're drawing up with that lower abdomen and release. And again, pushing down through the lower back and release. So we're going to tuck and then we're going to hold. So push down through the lower back and tuck, hold. Now lift the bottom so you're floating just above the floor for me. Good. So a little bit of a squeeze of the glutes. We're going to press up, breathing in. Breathing out, press up, squeeze, and then float. Breathing out, press up, squeeze, and then float. But the head stays still. It doesn't dip down. Press up, squeeze, and release. And press up, squeeze. Good. And release. Press up, squeeze, and hold. Press up, squeeze and hold. So using the glutes. Now coming up onto the balls of your feet. Push up, heels off the floor and then down. Keep your bottom there. Onto the balls of the feet and then down. And again, onto the balls of the feet and then down. Use those calf muscles. Squeeze. Good. And then down. And last one. Squeeze. And then down, lower those hips down, tuck the tailbone under, stretch that spine down for me. Take your right leg long on your mat, hold your head with your right hand, Take your left arm over by your ear, breathing in, breathing out, coming together, and then away. Make sure you only go parallel with your chest to the ceiling. Don't go too far back. And as we come up, think about pressing the lower back towards the floor as we come up to tap the shin. Ribs are coming down, and again, press. And back. 2 more. Press. And back. Last one, press. And back. Sliding up, take that hand behind, swap over. So right arm long, left leg long, breathe in. Breathing out, curl. And as you curl, press that lower back down. Good. And again, ribs down. Slowly, control. Breathe out. And back. And out. And back. Good. And out. And back. 2 more. And out. And back. Last one. And out. And back. Sliding up for me. Lovely. Take the legs long. If you feel you can, let the head hang and stretch your arms away. If not, then leave the hands behind the head. Perhaps don't fall back quite so far if it makes you feel dizzy in any way. But if you'd like to have a good stretch, let those ribs go, let those stretch out, and then bring your arms over. Now you can either just turn onto your side and walk yourself up. If you don't feel you can roll up. If you feel you can, press your legs into the floor, round your spine, lift, and rolling off your hedgehog, and let's stretch forwards. Oh, that feels good. Okay, let's bring our hedgehog round. Let's lay ourselves all the way down onto the mat, and then let's place our hedgehog underneath. So we need to make sure that the hedgehog is giving our lower back a little bit of support. However, you do not want it to be too deep that you feel that your pelvis is flat or falling forwards. The pelvis still needs to be slightly tilted to the ceiling, okay? So don't go too deep. You'll know, because when you take your feet off the floor, you're going to struggle to keep them there. So hands down the side of your body, taking one leg in the air and then taking the other leg in the air, nice and long. Make sure they're over your hips for me, okay? We're going to start with your right leg. So we're going to drop down and circle round. Left leg, drop down and circle round. Right leg, drop down and circle round. Left leg, drop down and circle round. Good, right leg, drop down. Pulse both legs. 1, 2, 3, circle round. Left leg, drop down. Pulse both legs. 1, 2, 3, and circle round. Good, right leg, drop down. Both legs pulse. 1, 2, 3, circle that bottom leg round. Keep the hips still. And left leg down, both legs. 1, 2, 3, and circle all the way around. Come into frog's legs for me. So knees wide, knees over hips. So rather than being here, I want you to push your knees out so that they're over your hips for me. So from here, we're going to extend the legs out into a V, flex the feet, push down with our pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, heels together, and then press these legs in, and then fold all the way back. Extend, flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, heels together, press, and release it down. And again, take the legs wide, flex the feet. 1, 2, 3, heels together, press, and relax it down. Make sure those knees don't fall forwards. Take it wide and flex. 1, 2, 3. Press together into neutral. Let's bend the legs into tabletop and separate the knees. Bring your right knee in. Reach your right hand to your right ankle and place your left hand on top of the knee. pull that knee in and stretch the leg away, and then switch, stretch, switch, stretch, switch, reaching the outside hand to the ankle if you can, stretch, good, and then reaching that leg away and stretch, good, and stretch, and stretch, hold that core, pick up the pace, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, lovely, 1, add a pulse, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and rest. Hug your knees in. Lovely. Take those legs back up into the air for me. Hands back down by the side of your body. Press the legs in, lengthen through the back of the legs, and then think about driving those legs up on the diagonal, squeezing those legs together, and release and come back. You're not taking your bottom off of the hedgehog, you're just thinking about it. So imagine you're stretching the legs away, so you really feel those lower abdominals switching on. Press the legs together and release away. And again, reach and press, and then come back. And reach and press, and then come back. Now take your legs past your hip line, so your abdominal muscles are having to work quite hard, but your back isn't arching, and then come back, then come forwards. Press, reach, center, and away. And then press, reach, center, and away. Float the arms, and press, reach, center, and away. Center, press, reach, float the arms, center, and away. Center, press, reach, center, and away. Last one. Center, press, reach, center, and away. And hug your knees in. Lovely. Keep your right knee in, take your left leg out long all the way down to the floor. Hug that knee in and stretch that left leg away for me. Get that great stretch in your hip flexor, which I absolutely love. Good. Slide that left foot up. Take your right hand on your right knee. Push it out to the right, and then let the left knee fall out to the left. Just working to stretch into those hips, but you should have equal weight through the back of your pelvis on your hedgehog, so you're not leaning to one side or the other. And then come in, place the right knee down. Left knee comes in, give it a hug and stretch that left leg as far away as you can. So we're getting into this right hip flexor now. That's good. Lovely. And then slide that leg back up. Now take this left leg, left hand out to the side, and then just let that right knee also fall out to the side. But just watch that the back of the right hip isn't coming off. The back of your, top of your right glute is not coming off the hedgehog. Feel that nice stretch in your hips. Good. And then come back to center and bring that foot down. Lovely, well done. Lift your hips, move your hedgehog out, and then gently roll your spine down. Take your hedgehog for me down by your feet and place your feet on top of your dome. Have your feet comfortably close. The great thing about having your feet slightly raised is that you can get a slightly better articulation in your spine. So arms down, tuck the tailbone, breathe in, breathing out and rolling up into your bridge. Take your arms up and over by your ears. Now I want you to focus here on your right arm, Really stretching out with your right arm. I want you to drop your left hip down. So you're stretching out through your right knee, and then I want you to roll down your spine whilst you really stretch that right arm away. Roll down the left side of your spine, and then come into centre. And then bring the arms over. So hop the hips back into the middle because they will move to the right a little bit. Tuck and roll up into your bridge. This is a great exercise for the spine. I love this one. Arms come over, both of them, but you're going to focus on the left arm. So stretch the left arm away, drop the right hip down, stretch out through the left knee. Now roll down the right side of the spine. Tuck, 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 tuck. Really reach with that left arm. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Pull it under, pull it under, pull it under. As much as you can. Whew. And then release, bring your arms down and hop your hips back into centre. You can do more of that if you want to. Place the feet together, knees wide on top of your hedgehog, just to get that lovely stretch out into your hips. You may find that your back slightly arches off. That's not a problem. Just keep the core just gently engaged. You don't need to press the back down into the floor. You can just gently stretch those knees nice and wide for me. Keep stretching them away. So you really work into those hips. That's really good. Lovely. And then bring those knees back into centre. Slide your hedgehog away from you, bring your feet to the floor, turn onto your side and gently walk yourself up. Okay, now bring your hedgehog towards the back of your mat with your dome facing forwards, and then I want you to sit your bottom on top of your hedgehog. We're going to take the legs comfortably wide for me. Make sure you're sitting nice and directly on top. I don't want you to feel that you're falling off the front. And then really push those legs away, trying to keep those legs as long as we can. Turn your chest towards your right leg, breathing in. Arms come up. We're going to do a swan dive, breathing out, diving down, stretching forwards and lifting up with a flat back. Now turn inwards. Underneath for me. Good. Drop the body down towards the leg. And then turn back with a flat back. Drop the hands down to the floor and then gently uncurl. Good. Coming all the way up to centre. Lovely. Now turn to the left. So turn your body to the left. Arms come up. Swan dive. All the way down. And lift up to a flat back, dropping the chest, turn inwards, good, drop the body down if you can, and turn back with a flat back, down towards the heel or the floor, and then gently uncurl. Good, well done. Cross the arms, sit nice and tall. I want you to hinge forwards at the hips with a flat back. Let the arms just dangle in front of you. Now round your back like a cat stretch, bringing chin to chest, and then see if you can lower yourself down and see how far you can get towards the floor without bending those knees. Breathe. And then gently uncurl. Should we try that again? I know it's a hard one, isn't it? So flat back. Good, let the arms dangle, round the spine like a cat, and then roll down, just like you were doing a normal roll down. Roll down, this is a bit harder on the inside thighs then. Trying to get the elbows as close to the floor as we can, breathe. And then slowly uncurl. All the way up. Lovely, bring those legs in together, give them a little bit of a shimmy. Lovely, feet flex for me, nice and tall. Arms come up, rotate to the right, little finger towards opposite little toe. Stretch down and then come up. Rotate, stretch down and then come up. Notice I twist my back hand. Rotate, stretch down and then come up. rotate, stretch down, and then come up. 2 more, rotate, stretch down, and then come up. Last one, rotate, stretch down, and then come up and relax. So either just bring those knees in or come across your legs, however you feel most comfortable. And then I just want you to rock from bum cheek to bum cheek. Just a little bit of release on your glutes for me. That's nice. And then come to center, have a roll of those shoulders. And let's take the time to breathe. I think we need time at the moment, so close your eyes with me. Just sit tall, relax and close your eyes. Try and empty your head. Bring the arms just down by the side of your body and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with me if you can. And breathing in. Slowly out. Good, and again, breathing in. And slowly out. Lovely, one more for me, breathing in. And slowly out. Relax the hands in your lap. Open your eyes. Well done, guys. Give yourself a little clap.